tonight, more boosters and more questions. We're breaking down what we know about who is eligible and what's recommended.
Plus $900 million and 1 million work hours later, we're getting an update on Essentia's downtown expansion project.
And Minnesotans can now weigh in on the state's rules and regulations surrounding a proposed copper and nickel mining project.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Briggs LaSavage. Thanks for joining us. As booster shots are becoming more available, some are confused about if they can get the extra shot and when.
CBS3's Abigail Smith sat down with health experts and breaks down what you need to know.
Briggs and Kristen, health experts say boosters act as refreshers for your immune system to keep fighting asymptomatic disease. Right now, there are a lot of different people eligible for different shots. Here's how that breaks down. Let's look at the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines first. People eligible for those boosters include frontline workers 18 and up, people who work in group care settings, people 18 to 65 with health conditions that increase their likelihood of COVID complications, and anyone 65 and older. Those boosters must be administered at least 6 months after your second dose of either one of those vaccines. But for anyone who got the Johnson & Johnson shot, a booster is recommended 2 months after your initial dose. You can also mix and match booster shots. Roseanne Hines, a pharmacist at Essentia Health, says when she is giving out COVID vaccines, there is a lot of confusion between a third dose for immunocompromised individuals and a booster for others. For example, Moderna's booster is half the dose of the original, while a third dose for immunocompromised folks is a third full dose. She says the dosages and eligibility depends on results of ongoing federal trials and testing. Hines adds it's likely that everyone will probably need a booster eventually. She says the CDC is thinking about an annual booster as symptomatic diseases continue to change and mutate.
I don't think it's unreasonable to potentially anticipate something similar to a flu shot where we have to get it annually based on that virus transformation, if you will.
Tonight, we just learned Pfizer is now seeking FDA approval for all adults to be eligible for their booster. And Hines says people should know that the booster shot is the same exact vaccine, just a different dose. So far, boosters are strongly recommended for those most at risk. Those not at high risk are only encouraged to get one to be able to train your immune system to keep fighting diseases. But again, right now, only high-risk people who meet the requirements are eligible for their Pfizer and Moderna booster.
Thanks, Abigail. There are so many new COVID cases in Minnesota, the state doesn't have enough people to process them. Minnesota's Department of Health today reported 7,100 new cases from over the weekend. But they say there are actually more than that because there wasn't enough staff to process all of them. That created a backlog. More than 1,100 people are hospitalized in the state with COVID, the most so far this year. Wisconsin today also reported its highest single-day new case count since October 5th. The ambitious expansion of Essentia's Duluth's campus came one step closer to completion today.
Vision Northland, as the project is known, is a $900 million effort and the largest privately invested project in Duluth's downtown. Today, the hospital celebrated a milestone as the last structural beam was placed. CBS3's Quinn Gorham joins us live from downtown Duluth tonight. Quinn, a lot of eyes have been watching that new building go up, and about how much more work is left to do.
Well, Briggs, it's a big moment today, and like you said, it's just one step closer to the final completion of that structure. But as you can tell from the building behind me, it's far from complete right now. You can see the frame is all there, and that's what we're celebrating today. It's about 50% done, but all that exterior framing, the windows, all of the interior parts of the building still need to be done. But once that is completed, it could have a massive impact on healthcare across the Northland. Take a look. When the Vision Northland project broke ground in 2019, everyone knew it would be a massive undertaking. But just a few months into construction, the project was faced with its biggest roadblock yet, the COVID-19 pandemic.
In a lot of ways, it was surreal. We were all sitting there on pins and needles as we were waiting for the executive order to come out.
Jeff Zurich, project executive for Vision Northland, says crews adapted quickly. He says they haven't faced any major construction setbacks, including rising steel prices, as the hospital hospital locked in prices early on. Tuesday, the project celebrated its structural completion, officially marking the halfway point.
We're extremely excited to be where we're at right now, and we're looking ahead to where we need to be. We've got great partners, and we're going to get it done.
Robert Erickson, physician lead for Vision Northland, says they used the pandemic as an opportunity to provide better care.
The whole emergency room is negative airflow, so we made that change during the design. So there is design elements that allow us to make those changes.
Erickson says the expansion will offer 3 new floors of ICU capacity, meaning 96 total ICU beds. That's double what Essentia currently has. Erickson says the project will help provide a sense of security for families in Duluth and across the Northland.
I think they can be assured that there's the health care when they need it. You don't want to anticipate you're going to be in the hospital, but that you have that capacity and that level of health care will be there for decades.
And those who have worked hard to get the project to where it is today are excited for what lies ahead. Essentia hopes to wrap up the project by early 2023 so it can open it up to patients by the 3rd quarter that year.
So, Quinn, do we know what's going to happen with the Essentia St. Mary's building, where some of these facilities are moving into the Vision Northland space operate now?
Yeah, it's a great question, Briggs. Right now, we don't. We were told by hospital spokespeople earlier today that that's because the land of that building is owned by the Sisters of St. Scholastica, but the building itself is owned by Essentia. So they'll likely have to go through a discernment process in order to determine what happens with that land. Nothing has really been finalized yet, though.
All right. Well, thank you, Quinn. That's CBS 3's Quinn Gorham reporting live for us in downtown Duluth.
Essentia Health is encouraging you to get any concerning skin marks checked out. Essentia is hosting a free skin cancer screening day this week. The event will be held at the Duluth Family Medicine Clinic on 8th Street. It runs from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. this Thursday. They say skin cancer is the most common cancer in the U.S., but yearly skin checks can help catch it early.
Well, Dave, we saw a lot of sunshine today. It was kind of refreshing out there.
It really was, and something to remember because it's going away. Already the clouds are pushing in, so let's take a look at current conditions from the airport in Duluth that we may not see again for up to several months. Right now it's 42 degrees. Low relative humidity at 41%. Westerly winds going 5 miles per hour, and the air pressure is high at 30.2 inches of mercury. Tomorrow, the air pressure goes down, the winds pick up, and temperatures go down while humidity goes up as twin low pressure systems lurch their way from the west towards our region. That high trying to stand in the way will migrate away, and so those 2 lows, one a Colorado low and one a Pacific low, will conspire and combine to bring us a rain and snow mix beginning Wednesday afternoon. And that mix probably will be most prevalent on Thursday, becoming more of a snow situation on Friday. Short-term forecast says tonight we'll drop our lows into the 20s as clouds increase, and then for Wednesday, highs a bit cooler than today, mid-40s for a lot of towns, 70% rain chance, building into a mix and culminating in snow on Friday. How much snow? I'll show you the latest estimate chart coming up in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. Minnesotans can now weigh in on the state's regulations when it comes to copper-nickel mining. The goal is to hear from the public about the existing rules for non-ferrous mining. They want to learn if they provide enough protection against possible environmental damage to the boundary waters from mining upstream. The Minnesota DNR has a dedicated website for its court-ordered review, which stems from a lawsuit seeking to block the proposed Twin Metals project near Ely. The comment period runs through December 8th.
There's another chance for the public to weigh in on Lutsen Mountain's proposed expansion project. The Superior National Forest Service is in the middle of a public comment period to get feedback on the project. The virtual open house is set for 6 to 8 next Tuesday night. The ski area wants to expand its footprint onto 495 acres of national forest lands. Eventually, the Forest Service will consider the project and weigh in on those permits. You have it until, until December 9th to weigh in.
Major funds are going toward preparing Duluth kids for school. Thanks to community donations, the Duluth Library Foundation has reached its $100,000 goal heading into Give to the Max Day. The funds go toward the foundation's Every Child Ready Duluth initiative. It's a citywide program aimed at bridging the gap in school readiness so all children can succeed in kindergarten and beyond. The donations will help buy books and materials, restore free programming, expand digital services, and more. Give to the Max Day is next Thursday. It represents a critical fundraising time for Minnesota's nonprofits.
If you're looking to turn your house into a vacation rental, the city of Duluth is now taking applications. The city will be accepting those letters from now until December 10th. Then the city will hold a raffle to determine where the applicants will be placed on an eligibility list to rent out their home. You have to have a permit to operate a vacation dwelling inside city limits. You can find a link to the application on our website.
Itasca County authorities are asking for help finding a missing woman they think could be in danger. Angel Berzins was last seen a month ago exiting a vehicle in the Hinckley area after an argument with her husband. The 48-year-old is 5'4" with blonde hair. She had been living in the Minneapolis area recently. Anyone with information is asked to call the Itasca County Sheriff's Office.
Still to come on Live Local, CBS 3, Minnesota hunters had a strong start to the deer season. We break down the latest numbers next.
Well, our almanac shows a high temp of 54 today, maybe the last time we see that for quite a while. Cool down is coming, rain initially, followed by snow on Friday. We've heard a lot of ups and downs as far as snow totals go. I'll show you the latest estimates right after this break.
Get your news on the go, the CBS3 mobile app.
If you're frustrated with buffering, if you're sick of stop and start streaming, if you have spotty Wi-Fi, you need to talk to the Extreme Internet Pros. Switch to Extreme Internet 100 for only $34.99 a month for a year. You don't even need to sign a contract. Get fast speeds up to 100 meg, intelligent whole home Wi-Fi, and 99.9% network reliability. You want great internet at a great price? Call us today at 844-EXTREME2.
Hi, Russell Nicolay Law Office. If you've been seriously injured, we can help. For the last 14 years, my office has been helping folks like you and holding insurance companies accountable. My award-winning legal team can help you and your family. Remember, if you've been injured, get Nicolay. We win or you don't pay.
I remember my son was going to grow up without a father.
I didn't think someone at 23 could be diagnosed with breast cancer.
I was probably the healthiest I had been in my life.
Early detection of a melanoma saved my life.
I survived testicular cancer because of early detection.
I survived cancer not once but twice because of early detection.
During the pandemic, you may have delayed or canceled routine cancer screenings. It's time to get those appointments back on the books. Early detection saves lives.
This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
I got into journalism when I was in high school, actually, and that's where I really fell in love with the news and the storytelling aspect of it. Being able to bring those things together and keep people informed. It's so important for us to be in a community like Duluth, to be able to hear your stories and then bring them to everybody else in the community.
Watch Caitlin and Jenna in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m.
We keep people safe. That's our job.
Listen up, people. Priority 1, find the new suspect.
Zach, you cover me.
I got you.
My team is the international arm of the FBI.
Get in!
They're on the move.
This is a whole new level of creep.
Who's executed?
That's our guy.
You can't have gotten too far.
The FBI's new episodes tonight on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus. CBS3 Sports is brought to you by St. Luke's. Now, the CBS3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Let's talk about temperatures before we get into the forecast, because as I've been harping about all day here, this may be the last time we see temperatures like this. And I'll strengthen it by saying May. You never know when another mini heat wave could roll around, but there's also a chance this is the last time we see 50s until, what, April? You know, so fond farewell to high temps that were around 52 degrees in Orr today, 57 by the lake in Grand Marais and Moose Lake too, 54 for Hayward and Solon Springs, even warmer than that towards Ashland, and low 50s, nothing to sneeze at the Upper Peninsula. Tomorrow's high temps might approach 50 for some Wisconsin towns and the UP as well, but otherwise Minnesota's slipping into the mid-40s, and it will just keep getting cooler from there. Cool enough by Friday for a chance of snow. Now we shift gears and look at the current temperatures. So we've descended a bit already with sunset into the 30s for a lot of places. 32 Watersmeet, but 43 Ironwood, 40 LaPointe, but 35 towards Hayward. Into Minnesota, we're eyeing up a lot of 30s and perilously close to the 20s in International Falls with the current reading of 30 there, but Moose Lake still holding on to low 40s. What we're getting tomorrow morning is low temps in the 20s for just about every town, and high temps running a range of about 45 to 50 as a pair of lows come to cloud us up and cool us down and change our weather. So the current Doppler map showed not much happening in our area. We're waiting on higher pressure to fade away and two lows from the west to come calling. One is a Colorado low. Those are classic systems for bringing in a lot of precipitation. The other is a Pacific low, and usually they get most of their moisture wrung out of them as they're traversing the Rocky Mountains. But with this low pulling up Gulf moisture and this one providing extra lift, we're looking at about a 60 to 70% chance for rain on Wednesday as the lows get closer. Getting into Thursday, we get in between the lows and it turns into a rain and snow mix. It's Friday when we get the chance for the snow. And if we have 70% chances for the rain and then the mix, it's a 60% chance for the snow on Friday, which could leave totals like this. And again, you might see some pretty big numbers poking up towards International Falls. Do keep in mind these numbers are subject to change as the model runs continue. But what we're getting at is most of the region likely won't get that much in the way of snow. Most of us looking at a trace to maybe 2-3 inches. It's the iron ranges towards the border where it may go 6+ inches. And with temperatures cooling, we may hold on to that snow for a while. Tonight, boy, we've got some cool temperatures coming our way in Minnesota. Low temps for the most part in the 20s, though we could hold on to the 30s by the lake. Clouds increase, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan. Low temps for Wisconsin and the UP drop into the 20s as well. And then for tomorrow, afternoon rain chance begins for Wisconsin, Michigan. Highs there could go 47 to 50. Minnesota numbers about 43 to 48, maybe 49 by the lake. Afternoon rain begins there as well. And like we mentioned, the rain turns into a mix on Thursday and shifts over to snow, especially on Friday morning. And that's when the bulk of any accumulations will try to come across. And then they will have crossed our paths by Saturday, giving some folks up north a chance to shovel perhaps, followed in turn by a 40% flurry chance come Sunday.
All right, I'll get my winter boots ready just in case. Well, new numbers are showing just how successful hunters were this opening weekend.
Yeah, according to the Minnesota DNR, more than 79,000 deer were registered between Saturday morning and Monday morning. Last year's total harvest during firearm season was more than 20,000 deer. The state's deer season, 200,000 deer. Thanks, Kristen pointed that out to me. Well, I'm sure those hunters are looking forward to maybe some snow this week, too.
So,
maybe get even more deer. The state's deer season runs through Sunday, November 21st. The Duluth Fire Department is monitoring a Canal Park restaurant after it was forced to evacuate.
Just before 1 o'clock this afternoon, staff at the Duluth Red Lobster noticed their carbon dioxide alarm was going off. They use CO2 to carbonate soda and beer. The staff shut the valve off and evacuated everyone. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Duluth fire leaders say this is rare, so they don't have a way to monitor CO2 levels in the building. They were going off of oxygen levels instead. Assistant Fire Chief Dennis Edwards says this shouldn't impact other businesses in the building.
We have building officials on scene with our crew right now. We're, because we've shut off the HVAC unit to this space for Red Lobster. And we've also alerted the other tenants of the building. So everybody's aware of what's going on, but I'm confident that they're safe.
Good news, the restaurant is back open tonight. Mild CO2 exposure can bring on headaches and drowsiness. Longer exposure could force your heart to work harder. It could cause confusion or higher blood pressure.
Alexis joins us now with a look at sports. Alexis, Dave was talking about how, we're looking at a season shift with snow coming in.
Yes, season shift with snow, but also with sports in the college ranks. The action continues inside in Bulldog country as the countdown to basketball season begins. T-7 days until tip-off for the 18-ranked Lady Bulldogs. And before football ends, the Bulldogs have some unfinished business to get to. I will reel in sports next.
Join us weeknights. We're live at 5 as we go around the Northland, city by city.
When severe weather hits, tune to CBS3 for up-to-date coverage morning and night.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Injured? Call Stockman Law Office. Serious injuries including wrongful death, medical malpractice, and nursing home neglect. Call anytime 218-576-8599. No recovery, no fee. Stockman Law Office. Serious injuries, serious law.
Hi, I'm Kevin from ServPro. Everyone has a home project that they want to get to. Building a deck, building an addition, remodeling a bathroom. The problem is availability with local contractors. Why should you have to wait for months to get your project done? Call ServPro today for fast, quality, professional, reliable workmanship you can count on. ServPro, like it never even happened.
Shop Arrowhead Supply now and get some of our most popular stressless designs for less. Save $500 on a stressless wing recliner in our best-selling Paloma grade leather and up to 20% on select sofas now at Arrowhead Supply.
Got a favorite color? For these young artists, it's red. Painting the canvas with our secret mix of seasonings. The tradition continues.
We want you to join our team. On Wednesday, November 17th, Black Bear Casino Resort invites you to join our job fair from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the Cobalt Cabaret. Come fill out an application, get an interview on the spot, and hired for a full-time or part-time position. We offer many benefits for full-time employees, from 6 paid holidays each year, 3+ weeks of paid time off your first year of employment, reward for perfect attendance, 401k retirement plan that we match, health and dental plans, life insurance coverage, and much more. For more information, visit blackbearcasinoresort.com and make the Bear your place for employment.
Northwest Outlet knows Northland winters can be a great time of the year to enjoy the outdoors, even when you have to work outdoors. Nothing ruins it faster than cold or frozen feet. Problem solved when you shop Northwest Outlet for winter footwear. They have only brand names that are tested for Northland winters, like Kamek, Baffin, Keen, Sorrel, Lacrosse, Merrill, Columbia, Boggs, Rocky, and Carhartt, including a huge selection of steel toes available. Top it off with Smart Wool or Darn Tough socks for maximum comfort. Remember Northwest Outlet for long underwear. Your winter headquarters, Superior.
School visits are an important part of kind of being part of the community outside of the TV station here. When I was in 6th grade, that's when I learned meteorology was it for me. Being on the other side of that now, for me being able to kind of pursue that, it's important for me to then be able to get back into the community. If I can go into a classroom and get just one person who was interested, or just one person who, leaves there knowing like, wow, I learned something new today. For me, I did my job, and that means a lot to me.
Watch meteorologist Caitlin Moffitt weekdays at 5 a.m.
For you to learn something new every evening, we need to write something new. And that's why winning the 2021 Emmy Award for Outstanding Writing makes us smile. The CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell.
There's no doubt that the UMD women's basketball team enters this season with high expectations. They won both the regular season and postseason NSIC titles last year and returned their entire starting lineup for another crack at it. They have 3 players returning for their extra year of COVID eligibility. What they're calling super seniors in Ann Samat, Peyton Kyle, and Sarah Groh. Along with that trio is arguably their best player and the NSIC preseason player of the year, Brooke Olson.
I keep telling them that I'm a little bit worried about complacency, and we keep talking about how are we going to keep getting better because every other team is going to get a little bit better. So how are we going to match that or go beyond that? And so just pretty excited about this group. They're fun. They work hard.
Greatest enemy to good is great. So I think we're just not being complacent with what we have accomplished within these past 4 years for at least our seniors, but also we're just not complacent with winning a conference tournament championship, but we want to win, Elite 8 championships and go on further and further in the tournament.
He is ranked 18th in all of Division II to start the season, and they'll take on number 2 Drury down in Missouri to open their season next Tuesday. Well, some may say defense wins championships, and this past Saturday, the Bulldogs proved what dominant defensive play produces following a 5-interception day in a stunning victory over number 17 Augustana. A game like that not only keeps the Dogs in the playoff picture, but it also keeps a conference championship on the horizon. Saturday's defeat was big thanks to senior defensive back and NSIC Defensive Player of the Week, Michael Kirkendall. Kirkendall tallied 2 picks and 8 total tackles. But Bulldog credits also are given to Brad Dottie, who put up a team high of 12 tackles on the afternoon for the 2nd straight week. Offensively, Garrett Olson led the pack again, going 11 for 18 in 171 yards with 3 touchdowns and registered 76 rushing yards. In order to propel past Northern this weekend, the Dogs will say they remain level-headed to ensure that they take on their train to the next level.
The game plan was really to stay who we were, going back to that 2018 defense, getting back to what we normally were in the secondary. We created a lot of turnovers because of our front line. Of course, our front 7 is amazing. They were getting pressure on him every snap, so I think that just created a lot of turnovers and made it a lot easier for us in the back end.
With that win, we've put ourselves in a position potentially to be in the national playoffs, which ultimately is a goal for our program. So last weekend, we felt a lot of pressure and the need to win. We knew it was kind of winning the home. This weekend, it's only built a little bit more against a good Northern State team.
Win or go home is still the name of the game ahead of UMD's home finale with Northern State. Saturday also marks Senior Day, where UMD's seniors will be honored on their last home game at Mulaski. Kickoff is at 1:05 p.m. You guys, I know we heard from the Lady Bulldogs today, but we also heard from the men tonight as well, with their season coming up as well.
All right. Looking forward to that.
Yes.
Thanks, Alexis.
Go Dogs. Go Dogs is right. Well, tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, with Veterans Day just 2 days away now, giving back to those who served is on many of our minds. Tonight we'll share a new university program that aims to take the sting out of war-related issues some veterans may be facing.
And in a special ceremony tomorrow, Split Rock Lighthouse will pay tribute to people who lost their lives on the Edmund Fitzgerald. Split Rock holds a beacon lighting every November 10th, marking the day the ship sank in Lake Superior during a storm in 1975. At 4:30 p.m., the lighthouse will close temporarily while the names of the crew members are read to the tolling of a ship's bell. A live stream option is available for people who can't attend in person. You can find that information on our website.
Well, Dave, for any folks who want to take part in that, sounds like they might want to bundle up tomorrow, huh?
Yeah, indeed. That's always a very somber ceremony.
Yeah.
I've covered it for the news many a time, and the weather is usually very November-y,
Yes.
which is starting right on cue tomorrow. Low pressure systems, 2 of them coming aboard, bring us a 70% chance of rain beginning in the afternoon and evening tomorrow. Then it turns into a rain-snow mix on Thursday, and it winds down to snow come Friday. And most of us will just get light, sloppy snow. But up north, there still is a chance for some thicker stuff, which we'll talk more about at 10.
Thanks for joining us.